Hello, everyone, and welcome to An Hour with Dave, a straight shooting talk show that doesn't hold anything back. You either love the show, love me, hate me, doesn't matter, but it's the show you want to watch. 1 Hour with Dave. Welcome, everybody, and I'm glad to be back finally on An Hour with Dave. I first want to apologize because we had some technical issues that were going on. Not to blame anybody here, it's the mechanics, and you know how things go. So I need to apologize for the guests that were supposed to come on and the guests that are coming on in the future that we've had to change schedules. All right, so let's get down to it. Before I introduce two of the guests that are going to be on, um, I want to first talk about hate. Why is this hate? What is this hate that's going on in our country? And how awful it is. Because I'm going to tell you, here I came and I put on a beard, let my hair grow, had some pictures to show of me in high school and college and working. Um, and I was surprised that when I seen myself today and then, when I was in Theodore Roosevelt and a younger man, not too long ago, because I'm not going to say I'm old, um, I had my bandana with the peace sign on it, the army jacket, the jeans, the cut down jeans, um, and I walked around talking about peace and love and caring, um, and respected everyone. Now it seems like if you look at the David Den, the David that worked in the hospital, the David that managed sales and marketing and insurance companies, etc., the business owner, David, and now David in a beard, no tie and shirt, a regular pullover, long hair. Does that change me? Does it seem different? Am I different? I got the same friends. I got the same work. I got the same goals. The same David loves God. The same David loves people around him, helps anybody. So why so much hate? I don't get that part. You hate somebody because of the color of their skin. And then when you ask people, why did you hate him? Because he's white. You ask the other person, why did you hate him? Because he's black. And Puerto Ricans, why do you hate him? And they'll say, ese maldito negro. Well, you know, it, negro and the word en actually started from Spain. And my grandmother used to call me negrito. Well, I never got offended by it. I've had, you see older women call their husbands, mira negro. That's not offensive. It's the way we use things. It's the way we use terminology. I got a producer who's Jewish. I have a new producer working here, and it's a female. Oh my God. Am I gonna be offended because she's a female? No, maybe she'll teach me how to do something different. But you also get to have to respect one another. And we got to stop this hate. You pick politicians and you pick people, and I'm going to tell you something. Republicans and Democrats, you're going to hate me because upcoming weeks, I'm going to call each and every one of you bastards out for hating, for promoting hate. I don't care what party you are and what color you are. If you're hate, I'm gonna call you out. If you're a group that hates, I'm gonna call you out because I have no fear on it. I don't worry about it. I sit down with my friends and we eat, and there's never been a choice of colors. Diet? Yeah, we might have gone there. So let me introduce the guests that are on. Okay, Chew, you're here. How long have we been friends? For a long time, right?
Many years, maybe more than 10 years.
Right?
We,
And I make fun at Chew, and Chew makes fun at me. But I know he loves me. I know he respects me. You know, my he tells me that my lady is his girlfriend. Well, what can I tell you? You know, but you tell the people who you are, what you've done, and what country you originated from.
first of all, thank you very much, David Torres. He's my good friend. As David said that, I know David and I met his wife and we became friends. And then whenever I see David, I say, "What happened to my girlfriend?" So, where is my girlfriend? And we laugh each other. And David always make a friend of me. I'm a short guy. I'm had no problem. I know we have to learn how to live, to work, to eat together.
Right.
I'm from Cambodia. I escaped from Cambodia through the jungle. As you know about the Vietnam War, United States bombed B-52 on Cambodia by mistake. I have no problem with that. So the reason I came to here because I do not want to live in a communist.
Country, yeah.
And I escaped through the jungle. Believe me, I have to step on the line. If I cross the line, the bomb explode. My leg can be cut or killed. So I just wanted to know why I'm saying this story to you because I have to tell you my story, why I'm here. I'm not here to steal people's job. I'm not here to do anything to hurt any American people. I'm lost American. I love freedom. I came to United States in 1980. I came and worked in Brooklyn, New York. As David told me on over here, he born in New York. I said, "Where you born?" I'm from Brooklyn, Flatbush, Brooklyn. Is you know about Brooklyn? In 1970, there was a blackout, and that's how my agency started to work with the people in Flatbush. In 1980, I want to tell you one story. In 1980, American people do not know why Asian came to live in the United States. And some people do not understand why we came here. And they're getting mad and they confront me. You come here, you steal my job. And they start to hate Asian. And I was lucky, was able to work for a nonprofit called Flatbush Development Corporation. It was created by all politicians in New York. So I was working there to let the people how we went through the refugee camp. We're not here to steal people's job. We're here to get freedom. And I first fully I would like to appreciate all Americans who allow me to be here. They are welcome me to be here. For some people do not understand why we are here. I call people they arrogant because they don't learn. And let me tell you why I want to test it. When I worked in Brooklyn, New York, Flatbush, I was in charge of the refugee and immigrant program. I find people a job. I put people in school. I work different partitions to understand how, why we in United States. So in New York, I was able to testify before the New York State Assembly to introduce a law they call cultural sensitive leave, which means that any people who work for the Asian had to understand the Asian culture because we have a strict culture, which means that we have a big problem in New York, in Brooklyn and Flatbush and Church.
Right.
We have people to do shopping in the Korean place, and they hate that Korean store because they don't see Korea, they don't see the people, American people work in that store, and they start to have rally. And I know what went wrong in that store, and I went to talk to my boss. I told him that I would like to resolve that problem. I know what's going on. Let me tell you, Asian. I don't know if anybody have different culture. Asian people, when they have business, they want to they want to hide their own family first. After that, they want to expand to different people. They are not They are not racist, but they are trying to take care of the family first. The same here, I believe so. They have to hire people who can work in their store. They may not, the community may not know about the Asian community. We have very strict culture. Let me tell you something. I just talked to the producer before I come on the air. The women in Cambodia cannot talk to the man alone. And then more of the women was arranged married. Is that why? Because of our culture. I not I this is a culture, my culture. Why I thought it? Because I want to. When I told about the story to different people, they start to laugh, and they say, what, what?" I said, "Jeff, this is a culture. We don't want to do that. What we want, and also we start to move on, especially like every Asian likes to enjoy life in this country, want to expect and respect rule of law. We do
Right.
not, we may not know all the law, but I would like to tell the politicians in this country that politicians have to reach out to Asian people, understand, be Asian people do not trust the government. They do not expect their vote is count. So if they want to get a vote from the Asian people, they have to do outreach to do why you want to be elected to that office. And then a lot of people don't understand what do you want, why you want to run, because Asians don't have the right to vote. Myself, when I was in Cambodia, I was lucky. I was adopted by my very educated doctor. He told me about Western life. I support uh, American policy. I remember when Apollo 11, my uncle bought Apollo 11 T-shirt because I like the way American style. We have freedom, we have job, and
Well, I gotta tell you, my friend. I've known you for a lot of years. We've ate. You've ate in my house. I've ate in your house. We've gone to your restaurants and your events. I've gone to your temples.
correctly,
Um,
correctly. I don't own restaurant. You go to Campbell restaurant.
go to restaurants, yeah. And I gotta tell you, it's a beautiful culture, beautiful people, and let me tell you, you when you look at the Statue of Liberty, you look at the Constitution, and you look at people in general whose claim they are for freedom and for the Constitution and for everybody's rights, you and your culture is better than some Americans who were born here. Okay? So I'm going to let you know that your culture, I love your culture. You know, I've been all around. I've been in every one of your temples, um, and I love it. I want to see, before we get ready, we got to take a break, and then we're going to bring our second guest on to introduce the difference in his country and what's going on. And then we're going to circle around to bring everything together. So let's get ready to go on a
Let me
commercial
add
break.
something. Let me add something about the Statue of Liberty. I
You got
in
to hurry up because we're going out in
okay.
30
My
seconds.
picture and my name was posted in the Statue of Liberty, and that's why I'm so proud of what I'm doing for the community in New York, because my work for the community, the congressman have recommend me to the committee and then put my name and my picture in a statue. Alice Allen.
All
It's still
right.
there. It's still there.
There you go. Ready to go on break. Congratulations. I didn't get my name on there. Hello, everyone, and welcome to An Hour with Dave, a straight shooting talk show that doesn't hold anything back. You either love the show, hate the show, love me, hate me, doesn't matter, but it's the show you want to watch. 1 hour with Dave. All right, everyone, and welcome back to An Hour with Dave. One thing I want to need to be specifically clear on: any comments made on my show by me or any of my guests is ours, not useless, not useless media. It's mine. You love me, you hate me, it's the same to me. It doesn't bother me either way around because I'm going to tell you what I got to tell you whether you like it or not. So just remember that it's me, my guest, and my opinions and the opinions of my guest. Now, to bring in our second guest for his 15 minutes before we lock it in. Aaron, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Aaron, my brother. Now, this is another beautiful soul. And I'm bringing these two people together because I want you to understand the two differences, just the distance between their countries, and they're here, and they're more American than Americans that were born here. Okay? And they can relate to the tragedies and the hate that's happening across the world. And it's coming home. It's coming to us. Aaron Bashir, I love you. What's going on? Introduce yourself. Tell the people a little bit about your story.
Okay, Dave, first of all, good afternoon. And SOVINN, thank you for coming to the show. And it is an honor for me to join your show, Dave. And it is always a pleasure to hear you and your views. And the one thing that I love about your show is that you are not a hypocrite. You speak your mind, you speak your heart, and you speak the truth. And that's one of the reasons I love this show. So, again, thank you so much for giving me this great opportunity so I could express myself and my views. So, let me start with a little bit about my introduction. Many of you already know me, but again, I'm Aaron Bashir, and I'm a political figure. I ran for state representative here in Northeast Philadelphia in Pennsylvania 172nd District. And I ran my campaign on the theme where I wanted to unite people, where I wanted to emphasize on family values, school choice, and safer and secure neighborhoods. And the third point, the safety and security, I wanted to, elaborate on that. Now, as we were talking about hatred and division, now the safety and the security binds all of us together regardless of who you are, whether you're white or black or Indian or Asian or Cambodian, everyone wants to have safety and security and the peace of mind where they can live a peaceful life without the fear of getting shot, without the fear of any hatred or any kind of incidents. People just wanted to live their normal lives where they wanted to raise their families, where they wanted to have opportunities to spend a good life. And that's what the American dream is all about. Where you wanted to raise a family, where you have a job, where you have a beautiful house, where you have a beautiful family. And what brings immigrants from other countries, that American dream, the opportunities, the land of opportunities, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, why I am here, why Sovin is here, why Dave, you are here, and a lot of other immigrants are here because they wanted to have a better life. How, however, there are political factions, there are political, issues here. Now, there are some people, they are trying to do their politics based on creating a division. They wanted to divide people based on color, race, and gender. And I just wanted to give them a clear message. Regardless of who we are all Americans at the end of the day. Doesn't matter whether you are a Democrat or a Republican or an independent or whatever party you belong to, but we all are Americans and we all are here for a better life. So now let me go back and give you a little bit background about why I came to United States of America. I come from Pakistan, and the country Pakistan, where majority of people are Muslim. I belong to a minority community because I'm a Christian. I was born as a Christian in Pakistan. So we face a lot of discrimination there. We face a lot of persecution there every single day. For example, the 12 years, 11 years, 13 years old girls, the minor girls are being abducted, kidnapped by the radical Muslims. So they rape them, they force them to become Muslims, they convert them because that's what the radical Islamic
Is
ideologies
that
is.
that's
And we
happening
Christians cannot do
today?
anything about it, Dave.
Hold on a second. Is that happening today?
Of course, yes, it's
This is what
happening
I
today.
want the
There are
people to
like more
understand.
than 1,000 girls who get raped and get converted forcefully to Islam in Pakistan every year. And they are just like, the reported cases, but there are a lot of unreported cases as well. So men get tortured, and we are forced to do those jobs, which are considered the low level jobs. A lot of times they are like sanitary jobs, so janitorial jobs. That's what we are pushed for. Because as a Christian, for example, the Constitution says I can never be the president of Pakistan. I can never be the prime minister. I can never hold the executive posts, the key executive posts, because Pakistan is based on Islamic ideology, Islamic Sharia law, and that's what they require. Now, why I'm telling all these things, a lot of people who do not understand that there are a lot of communities like mine, like Sowin, we are here for a better life because we wanted to pursue American dream. We wanted to live a life where our families are safe. For example, I myself lost 4 members of our family by ISIS affiliated groups in Pakistan. On Easter Sunday, they came in the street and started to shoot Christian people on random, and we lost 4 members of our family. So that's why I am here. However, I do understand that sometimes when people get upset, what Samin was saying, that a lot of people feel like, the immigrants are taking jobs from American people. Of course, there is always going to be an issue. It's the simple law of economics, demand and supply. So that's why I believe there must be legal immigration, never ever an illegal immigration. Because when we wanted to open up the border for everyone, it's gonna to create the same chaos what we have left behind and back home. So this is why I believe that the immigration should be legal only, not illegal. So I firmly believe that we should have a right way. For example, my uncle, it took him 16 years, even though I told you the situation in Pakistan, it took him 16 years to get to the United States. I waited for a few years. My brother waited for a few years. And I'm very grateful and thankful to be called an American. I love this country because I have seen a wonderful land. I have seen this country as one of the best countries in the world. That's why I'm grateful. I love this country because the opportunities that I have got here, as I mentioned, that in Pakistan, I would never ever have got those opportunities This is why this country is so important for us. And now, getting back to the point of division and hatred, I believe that the Democratic Party, and it's not all the Democratic Party, but the liberals and the progressives in Democratic Party, they have been trying to divide people on the issue of race and color. And this needs to be stopped because at the end of the day, we all are Americans. So there are good people, there are bad people in every community, in every race, in every ethnic group, and in every religion. However, what we got to understand that we all are Americans. We are united under one flag because it is a flag day. So happy Flags Day, everyone! And it is also the birthday of our great President Trump. So that's also a great thing. So again, now the way they portrayed President Trump, a racist, blah, blah, blah. However, look at the record of this man. He was a friend to African Americans, he was a friend to Indians, Asians, everybody when he was a businessman. And all of a sudden, when he entered the politics, he became a racist. So that is the narrative the Democrats put against him. And that's not fair. And people need to be judged by the contents of their character, not by their ethnicity, not by their color, not by their religion. And that's why we are here in the United States of America, because this country treats everyone equally. However, there is a small fraction of these liberals and progressives who wants us to be divided, who wants us to be divided on the issues of race and color and ethnic groups, because that's how they keep their vote bank. They keep brainwashing people. Oh, white people are not good. They are like, there's white supremacy. Then they start pushing for the critical theory. I know so many white people. They are good people. And this needs to be stopped. So don't try to portray somebody a villain or enemy of your color or your race unless you really pinpoint a certain person whose views are those racist views. However, as I said, I condemn those actions. I condemn that views. Now, if you wanted to call the discrimination, that is a discrimination what I face in Pakistan, because in the constitution it says that as a Christian, as a non-Muslim, I cannot be the prime minister, I cannot be the president. The social, the economical reforms are never in the favor of Christian people. The girls being kidnapped, being like, raped by Muslims. And when we go to the courts, the judges are Muslims, the police is Muslim. They never side with Christian people. It's their Sharia law. We cannot do anything about it. We have lost hundreds and hundreds of girls. We have people who are in jails because of the blasphemy laws, because we don't have freedom of speech. That's what the real hatred is. That's what the real discrimination is. However, when these progressives and liberals try to, exaggerate the things over here in the United States, I challenge one thing. I said, hey, you wanted to see the real discrimination? Live in Pakistan as a Christian. Live in SOVINN's country as a Christian. And then you would 10 times be appreciating, the United States of America. So in this country, we talk about racism, we talk about discrimination, but we are the least in the world, who are the racist people or who discriminate against anybody. I have black people, I have white people, I have Spanish people, I have Chinese people, I have Cambodian people, Turkish people. Everybody's a friend of mine. We work together, we are neighbors. No one ever goes against anybody because of the color, because of the ethnic group. It's the liberals, it's the progressive people. They are pushing it harder because they wanted to keep their democratic vote bank. That's what they are doing. And people need to wake up.
Beautiful.
People need to
Beautiful.
wake up
Beautiful.
and say enough is enough. We are all Americans. We are united under one flag, and in God we trust.
Okay. Aaron, I appreciate that. We're going to go on a break, and then I'm going to bring both of these two issues together. But this is interesting that I wanted the people to see how hate hurts. Okay? Let's go on our break. grab your coffees and teas, and we're going to come back and have a firestorm of a conversation. Hello, everyone, and welcome to An Hour with Dave, a straight shooting talk show that doesn't hold anything back. You either love the show, love me, doesn't matter, but it's the show you want to watch. 1 hour with Dave. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to An Hour with Dave. And if you've been listening, this has been a very interesting conversation, to say the least, and a very interesting um, segment, because it's showing how hate affects people and how the difference is. And you know, I'm gonna tell you something. Me and both of my guests here and multiple people, because I gotta tell you, Aaron and I have been friends since the day we met. And Aaron and I don't see 100% eye to eye, but we're going in the same direction. But we can talk about topics, and that's what's happening today. That you could have a difference of opinion, but if you're not the opinion of the leading group, your opinion doesn't count. For example, for example, I believe that when I ran and when Aaron ran for state rep, I ran for Congress. Okay? If I would have went into the office like I go now, or like people come to Aaron, people come to me, and they need help. If I was to go or be blessed enough to represent a political or a group of people, a segment or a chunk of a city like the second congressional district, I would not allow anybody in my office, when somebody walks through, to ask them, what party are you affiliated with? Because once you win, you have your core beliefs, but you're supposed to represent everybody.
Yes,
Because you're in power does not give you the right to discriminate and be treating people like they don't worth anything, like they're not worth anything. It doesn't give a politician the damn right to come on and decide to treat somebody because of the color of their skin, or the party they're in, or the way they dress, or the way they keep their hair different, because when you're in that office, you represent everybody in your district. And
absolutely right.
you're going to suffer as long as I got this microphone for the next few weeks, because I'm going to call you out on your stone ugly racism, and I don't give a damn what party you're with. So get it straight, people. I'm coming for you. All right. My opinion, my statement. Like it or not, I'm okay with it. All right, my friends. I had dinner with you several times. I've been in Aaron's house several times. Okay? Um, Aaron's got a beautiful family.
Yes,
Very respectful. I've been in your temples,
yes,
treated like gold.
yes.
Okay? With complete respect. Sat with monks, treated
Let me
well.
tell you something.
In Aaron's church, I've been in and out of all his churches,
Let me tell
treated
you
the
about
same.
you. I invite you to the Cambodian Buddhist temple in South Philadelphia. I did not tell you a word about how to respect man. You start to observe, and then when you come to the big building, you know how to do yourself. You say, I want to have picture with the big Buddhist. I want this picture to be with. So you understand the Cambodian culture. I have temple in Southwest, and then we have about five temple in Philadelphia. You went to two temple, but that temple did not get any money from the federal government, from State Street.
Right.
It was raised by the people in community in Philadelphia, and I appreciate that. And I just want to go back about hate. For me, I understand the people hate me. When
Not everybody hates you. Not every- don't
no
feel
no
that way. Not
no no
everybody
no
hates
no no.
you.
Let me tell you,
We're
I
not
I
gonna
know
go
when the
to that.
people come.
And Aaron,
Yes.
we've been through your culture too. I'm
Yep.
trying to get you to understand that not everybody hates him.
Absolutely
Where
right. And
where we
Sovin needs
have
to understand that, Dave, that he needs to stop watching CNN, and needs to stop
you had
he
to
needs to
you
start
had to
watching
listen to this channel, man.
all that liberal media that keeps telling him that people hate
The
you. No one hates
Aaron,
you.
you and I
No one
had to
hates
talk
me.
more about that. We had to talk.
We all are Americans.
I miss your call. I lost. I miss your call, man. It's good. You are right. People in the United States do not understand the socialists, especially young generation. Uh, like Aaron said, if you want to be known as what's hate, go back to Pakistan and become a Christian, and they know how it look like the hate. That's my
Exactly.
country. My country is a communist. I don't want to say how many Cambodian, my people, half of population of Cambodian were killed by communists, and they want to kill only educator.
okay, I understand that. Okay, this is America. The only way we're gonna get in, I'm gonna tell you something. Everything, if you look at in this country, it says, "In God we trust." This country is paying a price because we've turned our back on what started this country, which
Absolutely
was
right.
"In God we trust." Okay, as long as we allow people who are non believers, fake Christians, fake Catholics, fake whatever they want to be, come in and say that a cross is offensive, that you can't pray in school, that you can't, that I don't want no symbols out there that are Christian because it offends you, but you want to have boys going in little girls' bathrooms, and you want to have, and I say it then, I'm going to tell you now, if any of our grandchildren are in a bathroom, little girls, and a little boy or man thinks he's a man, he's a woman that day, he ain't getting in that bathroom while my kid's in there. It ain't happening. I
Yep.
guarantee you it is not going to happen.
See, people
Okay?
need to understand, Dave, Sovin, that this country was built upon some principles,
Right.
and the principles were Judeo-Christian values. That
Exactly.
the values about tolerance, about love, about kindness. However, down the road, these liberals, these progressives, started to attack those core values and the core values upon which this country was built upon. So they have systematically started to attack our faith, our freedoms, our faith in God. They don't want to hear the name of God in schools because they get offended. Okay, they don't want to differentiate between a man and a woman because they don't want to offend like a transgender or whatever. However, this is the time we say we are not taking your bullshit anymore. Okay, enough is enough. Sorry for my language, but don't tell me or my children who we are and whether we should be using the name of our deity, the name of our God, because this country was built up by the strong Christian people. Okay? Now, the people who died carrying the crosses in their necks, in their hearts, in their backs, I'm talking about the veterans because they loved this country. Now, this is very disrespectful to them if we cannot, you know, keep up those freedoms for which they died. So I am not taking any BS from the radical left, and I will continue to, go after them because I believe that this country needs God. This country needs the ethical and the moral values. This
Yeah.
country needs to know what is the difference between right and wrong. I don't care if it offends somebody. If my son is a boy, I'm going to call him a boy. Okay? If he wants to change his gender, not at my watch. Not in my home.
Not in
It
your
doesn't
house.
matter what the
Not in
liberals
your
and
house.
democrats are telling me. I'm
Well,
not taking it.
well, I believe what you're saying, Aaron, and you know what? I always say to people, if you're gay, hey, that's between you and your God, but
Yes.
you're not bringing it to me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna disrespect you. I'm
Right.
not gonna treat you bad. I'm not
Absolutely.
gonna do none of that. None of it.
Yeah.
But don't you tell me that I offend you. If you don't like the cross, well, you know what? Just like you get offended that I have a cross, what if I get offended that you don't like the cross? Why is
Absolutely
it
right.
one
Thank you,
way?
David. Thank you. Thank you so much for
Why
bringing
is
up
it
that point.
one way? Why is it that you can tell me I can't pray, but you can hang on a school window the letters of LBDQ, whatever it is? Okay? And I've showed it on my show where schools have it up on the classroom window. I don't want my kids to have a book in a classroom that says if you're this color and you're this color, you're at a disadvantage. No. My father never let me take extra points because I was Hispanic. In the old days, if you took a test for a civil job and you were a minority, you could get extra points by putting down your minority. I don't know if anybody even remembered that because everybody in here is young. But they used to do that. My father would not allow us to do it. He said, if you get that job, you get it because you're the better man.
Wow.
And that's the way I grew up.
Nice.
That's the way. I don't like abuse. I don't like who you are. You know, Memorial Day just went by. You guys remember that? Memorial Day? You know, I was the only one on my block that hung up a flag
Let
and
me
have a cross out.
let me talking about your civil service exam. You point out that if you put a minority, that you may give you the opportunity to get a job fast. But when I work in New York.
Better make your point. We got a hard break coming
Before I
up.
come to Philadelphia, I took the exam, civil exam. I do not put the Cambodian as put as an American. So I was able to get a job because of my ability to pass the exam to
There you
work in the
go.
state
Which is
job.
exactly my
But
father's
they didn't
point.
ask me to work for Cambodian
Right.
because I'm put as an American.
We're gonna go on
Absolutely
break.
right.
We're gonna go on break. Last 15 minutes, we're gonna kind of close up, give everybody a couple of minutes to make the last statements, and then we're gonna end this show. And I hope that you people out there have gotten some answers and some straight advice that's coming up on what's happening with hate. Hello, everyone, and welcome to An Hour with Dave, a straight shooting talk show that doesn't hold anything back. You either love the show, hate the show, love me, hate me, doesn't matter, but it's the show you want to watch. 1 hour with Dave. And welcome back, everybody. We're about to wrap up the hour with Dave. I really enjoyed this hour. I think we're bringing different perspectives. We were hoping to have more people on, but for one problem or another, we were unable to. But I want to give both these guests like a 5 minute for them to be able, 4 minutes for them to be able to say whatever else they got in their heart to say, and then I'm gonna close up with my statement. And How about if we do Chew first and then we bring in
Yes.
Aaron?
Thank you again, Dale. And before we end this program, I would like to let the people that listen to this program that please do not violent against any kind of nationality because of their color. And I have to let you know that the people do not understand that hate is not the place for human being. Because if you hate someone, you're gonna end up to see that someone, and you end up gonna need that someone. So please do not consider yourself as better than anybody. Please try to work, to live, to talk each other, and especially if you're the parent, you have to talk to your children that there's no hate in your blood. You have to be able to work, to live, to solve the problem. Otherwise, you're gonna have problem. Look at the COVID-19 problem. We everybody have to work together and we survive. And especially right now, everybody survive, we survive. And if we survive, we have to learn how to live together. American is the best country. America is the best country in the world. We are not perfect, but we're the best. Believe me, I'm from Asia. I'm coming from socialist country. You don't want to live and to hear what is socialism mean. United States is the best country in the world. We are not perfect. There's no such thing as perfect, but we have to appreciate what we have right now. I'm appreciating America because they let me live this country freely. I'm be able to work. If I were to be in my country, I was not able to work for the government. Here, I'm immigrant, and I went to school, and then I become youth assistant, and then I was able to work for the government as American people. So I was able to help people as a human being. Please forget about you hate, forget about skin or color. I have worked and have known different nationality. I work with black, with Hispanics, with white people, with Jews, everybody. So do not think that hate is it's in your blood. You have to think what we can do as human being. And
Beautiful. Beautiful, my friend. Aaron, you got 4 minutes.
Okay, well, again, I just wanted to say that I believe United States of America needs God. We need God, we need prayer, we need biblical values back in our country. Now, without God, we cannot be blessed, we cannot progress, we cannot succeed. Now, there is a group whom I call the radical leftist, the progressives. Those people do not like naming God. They do not want us to follow the ethical, moral values as we should. To them, everything is okay. Whatever feels good, just do it. However, I believe there are clear guidelines. As humans, we have some dignity. We must obey the Ten Commandments. There used to be a time when we had those Ten Commandments being taught in our schools, and that generation was much better and they had more higher ethical standards because they knew what was right and what was wrong. However, these radical leftists, by pretending, by teaching, by preaching that, oh, this offends me, this offends that person, they are taking our core values away, and that is unacceptable. People need to understand that without God, without his moral standards, without his ethical values, America will never be strong, America will never be prosperous unless we follow what is right and unless we do what is right in the sight of the Lord. Now, it is a time that we go back to our core conservative values where we believe in God, where we believe in Ten Commandments, ethical values, and also where we put family first. It is a time that where we focus on traditional family values, traditional family system. because there are liberals, there are progressives who keep pushing for single parent houses, who keep pushing for non-traditional nonsense kind of family structure, which is not gonna to work. There are studies, there are researches, there are surveys that show that it doesn't work. It didn't work in the past, and it's not gonna to work in the future. So it is a time that we focus on God, we focus on family values, and we focus on the safer neighborhoods, safer city. And the problem of violence is not the problem of guns, it is a problem of mindset and perception. Guns do not kill people, people kill people. And why people kill people? Because they do not understand that one day they will face the wrath of God, the judgment of God if they kill someone. And that's what we need to start teaching in schools, that if you do something bad, there is a supreme being. I don't care whatever you wanted to call him, but to me, he is God and he's the Lord. And I believe people need to be accountable, and they need to understand that one day they will be held accountable in his presence, whatever the things they do in this life, whether good or bad. So this is the time that we people, the conservatives, need to come out, and we need to stop apologizing for our beliefs. We need to be on offensive. We need to tell people this is what is the best for country, this is what the right path for the country is, and this is, for too long we have been silent, and this is the time that we come out. We focus on God, we focus on family values, we focus on the safety and security, we focus on the traditional marriage, we focus on the traditional family. And in the last, I would like to emphasize one very important thing, that please do not buy into the propaganda of these radical leftists who are creating the hatred. An average person doesn't hate anybody. They work all together all the times. It is the media, the radical leftist media, it's controlled by them. They wanted to overemphasize the race, the color, because they want people to think about, they want people to be divided over it, because that's
All
what's
right.
keep them in power. People need to get smarter now. They say enough is enough. We are not taking your BS anymore. We know that the stronger family, faith in God, is gonna to make our country great and prosperous and strong. And that's what we should be
Thank you.
focusing on. That should be the vision for our country and for our,
Appreciate that.
American people.
All right, everyone. Now, I didn't get I let our guests speak because I thought it was important that they speak. They have a lot to say, and there's a lot you can learn from individuals like this. Okay, and there's plenty of people out there. Well, now what I have to tell you, all the listeners that are out there, all the people that are out there, you need to stop being a fake Christian. What do I call a fake Christian? A person that is now speaking under the breath, but when they're in trouble, they're screaming, Jesus, Jesus, help me. God, help me. But as soon as they're not, or they think that there's other people around that's going to be offended, they put their heads down. You need to stand up. Aaron knows me. I walk around with a cross in my pocket. I'm
Yes.
going to start to walk around with crosses on me. I'm going to, if you go in front of my house, there's a big cross with two American flags, okay? And people tell me, why the American flag? Well, I was born in Brooklyn. I'm an American. I love America. No one in every other country can tell us that we're doing bad. Okay? America has made mistakes, but we're making a bigger one because we're getting away from our God, from
Yes.
respecting one another. And that is where the danger is at. And in the upcoming series, I'm going to start showing you how, and I'm doing it because I'm going to pray a lot on it. I'm going to show how the 9/11 is tied, how the changes that are happening, the pandemics, the cancel cultures, all that is hate. It's hate. You know, to see a 70-year-old woman getting punched upside the head by an individual because she's Korean, that could have been your mother, your wife. When you have a kid that's 9 years old, 8 years old being shot in the street, our morals are gone. Everybody knows who the drug dealers are. Everybody knows who the hate people are. How can you stand there and know that they're telling you if your kid took an exam and studied, and then they tell him if he makes a cross sign or says a prayer, he's taken out of the class and he's failed it. Well, you are a phony Christian if you don't stand up. David Torres told you you are a fake Christian. Like it or not, I just told you. You're full of it. Okay? I'm getting ready to end this series. I love you, Zor. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, CHOU. I hope to see you again. And Aaron, I want you to go to one of CHOU's Cambodian restaurants and watch his food. It'll be different for you. God bless you all. God bless America. And I'll see you guys next Monday.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to An Hour with Dave, a straight shooting talk show that doesn't hold anything back. You either love the show, hate the show, love me, hate me, doesn't matter, but it's the show you want to watch. 1 Hour with Dave.